God. Ask Scott.
Scott. Oh man. If only I'd found your podcast like 6 months ago. Can't imagine where I'd be now. Well, first off, just want to say thank you. My name is Zane, and I actually just binged, 99 episodes in the last 3 weeks. I guess it's a little bit more than 99 episodes now, considering that you did a couple bonus ones. And so, yeah, great content. Sorry, this isn't supposed to be a review. I do have a question for you, but I just did want to share some love and appreciation for the work that you're doing. I have actually started to reach out to suppliers in China through Alibaba. I've ordered products through AliExpress and have them shipped over here through DHL or EMS. I'm actually testing out a couple different products just to get my feet wet and just taking action like you say to do. So my question is actually regarding, I guess, the tariffs or the customs fees when coming in. I know you had a pretty big mistake. You said it was like $1,000 mistake when your supplier kind of labeled things wrong. I'm just wondering, I mean, nothing that I'm ordering is going to be even close to $2,500 right now. And I saw on DHL's website that if you have under $2,500, something like what you said, if it's under $2,500, then it says there they either charge $0 or $250. I saw that in one place, and then somewhere else online I saw that there's like a 4% or an 8% tariff charge. So I'm just curious if any of these purchases that I've made so far, if they're going to be charged, and if I should be factoring in any kind of tariffs and whatever you may know about that, or for any of even the samples that we've ordered, how that all works. So again, really appreciate the work that you're doing. Sorry for the long message or question. And yeah, garlic press on. Thanks.
Zane. I love it how you started that, by the way. That was awesome. But I mean, right now, everyone listening, like, how can that not motivate you, like myself, to continue to do this? And remember, when I started this podcast, I didn't know if I was going to have crickets listening, or if I was going to have 10 people listening, or I was going to have thousands. I didn't know. And I really didn't know if I wanted that responsibility. But now when you receive questions and you receive people saying how much you've helped them, man, I'll tell you what, that's the ultimate payment that anyone can give someone, is just knowing that they're impacting people and they're allowing them to move forward through you just putting yourself out there. So if that makes sense, it feels really good. So Zane, thank you so much for saying those kind words and everything. It does motivate me, and it reminds me of why I'm doing this. So thank you. All right. So let's answer your question real quick. Okay. And it's, again, I get this question a lot about customs and all of that stuff. And it's really hard to tell you exactly, because certain products are going to be taxed differently and all of those things. Right. But in the beginning, when you're doing like a sample, you won't really see how much it's going to cost, because it goes through different processing, maybe a different mail service. So you don't really have to even deal with that as well, because you're just paying for like PayPal. They're going to ship it to you. DHL, they're going to handle everything. And if it's under $100 as far as customs, they're just going to bill you the customs fee. But a lot of times on that low of an item, you won't even see that. But again, I can't say for sure, but that's pretty much from my experience and other people telling me as well. So the sample thing really isn't a big deal. But when you do go and start having bigger orders shipped, which you said you probably won't even have bigger orders shipped at the moment anyway, but you're kind of preparing for that. The way that I've done it up to this point is I've just relied on DHL to really handle that stuff for me, and have my supplier, because of that mistake I made, right, or that they made, cost me $1,000, right? So because of that, I've learned, but also just being very clear with my supplier to label the product or the shipment appropriately, and you have to know your code, and you can go right to, I believe it's DHL, and I'll try to link up something here in the show notes that will allow you to see different customs or custom fees as far as percentages for different products or style of products. If it's medical, it's going to be different than it's going to be if you're shipping in, let's say, and I'm just throwing stuff out, a garlic press, right? So it's going to be different because there's different liabilities. I mean, things like wood, like people that are shipping bamboo, you got to have like certain permits and all of this other stuff. So you really, in the beginning too, when you're looking at products, you want things that you know are not really risky or they have a high liability or any of that stuff, but you really do have to check into that. And you can literally call DHL and ask them, like, I have this product, what does it fall under? And then they'll be able to help you with that. You also want to ask your supplier, you have probably shipped these in the past to the United States. How much, or not how much, what is the code that I'll need to use for DHL or my shipper, and then they'll give you that code. And then when you have that code, you can you will contact the DHL, their customs department, tell them the code, and they can pretty much tell you approximately what the customs will be, but they'll never give you an exact. I'll tell you that right now. They will not give you the exact because they don't know. It can change. If it comes through, like I said, if it comes through with an order that's under $2,500, it's going to go through a different process. If it goes over $2,500, it's going to go through more thorough of a inspection type stuff. So then that increases your percentage. So there's really not an exact answer to that. But what I would say is always build in a little bit of cushion when you're looking at your rock bottom. Like, how much is it going to cost me to get this to my door? Figure in a little bit extra for that. And you'll be able to kind of get an idea once you start shipping like an order in, and you'll kind of see what it was from the past. And then you can kind of gauge it off of that. But that's really the only bit of advice I can give you from my experience. So I hope that's helped. Again, Zane, thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate it. And hey, I'm sorry that I made you binge on something. Whenever you hear binging, you think of something bad, but I know you were kidding. But I think it's funny because I get a lot of people that say, Scott, I binged on you for like 3 weeks. And man, that is a lot of Scott. I gotta say, that is a lot of Scott. I don't know if I can handle that much of me. Anyway, I'm glad that it's helped you, and keep it up. And like you said, take action, right? Take action. Good things will happen. And garlic press on, baby. If you guys want to submit a question, head over to theamazingseller.com/ask, and you can do that. I want to also, again, remind you guys, if you're brand new and this is your first time to the show, I want to welcome you. I love hanging out with you guys. This is just awesome to be able to virtually connect like this. And that's why I love the Ask Scott sessions. But if you are brand new and you're just getting your feet wet and you don't understand the entire process, the entire business model, I would recommend attending one of my live free workshops. This is where I break it down for you in 5 phases: how to pick a market and a product, how to source it, how to do a pre-launch, how to do a launch, how to promote the product, and everything in between. We go over that on a workshop, and we go through every single thing. We also do live Q&A. So if you want to attend one of them, I would love to invite you to the next one, and you can register for the next one by heading over to theamazingseller.com/workshop, and you can register there for an upcoming workshop. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com, and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session, and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business. So definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there, and some of it is really, really good. But what I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business. And this way here, you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.